Okay, so let's begin the session. Again, a very good evening and welcome to Stock Durbar with Team William India. Please go through the disclaimer. Whatever we discuss today is just for the educational purpose only. Please do not consider it as a direct investment advice. Okay, as always, let us begin with the Nifty 50 setup. So here's the chart of Nifty, and if you can see over here, it's been almost like 11 sessions since we saw a negative day in the market. So this is rare because there has been many instances where Nifty, climbed much higher, but the quick consecutive sessions when Nifty closed in green, these instances are rare. But one thing, while I was looking at a few of the data today, so I saw that in August, the market return is not even 1%, if I'm not wrong. बाजार ने निफ्टी ने 1% भी रिटर्न नहीं दिया है, क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग में अगर देखो तो वी स्टार्टेड द मंथ ऑफ 1st August at a high. Okay, we hit, yes, it was the 1st August when we hit 25,078. उसके बाद some sharp fall for next 2 to 3 sessions. उसके बाद थोड़ा मार्केट संभल गया 50 डीएमए के पास, 50 और 21 के बीच में लंबा एक कंसोलिडेशन चला ऑलमोस्ट 8 to 9 सेशंस का। उसके बाद जब 21 डीएमए रिक्लेम किया तो वहां से एक कंटिन्यू रैली मिला हमको। सो नेट रिटर्न नेट नेट देखे तो कुछ हुआ नहीं। अगर आपने 31 अगस्त को, सॉरी, अगर आपने 1 अगस्त या उससे पहले निफ्टी लिया होता 31 जुलाई को, तो अभी देखो तो कुछ इतना 1% ही मिला है। सो दैट इज द थिंग टू नोट। The other thing, the positive part is distribution day is only one. So distribution day means when the market fell more than 0.2% on a volume higher than previous session. It indicates अभी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे करता क्या है, वो एक मार्केट में वीकनेस इंडिकेट करता है। ठीक है, तो वो काउंट सिर्फ वन है। आइडियली 3 to 4 काउंट एंड बिलो मूविंग एवरेज इज अ बिट नेगेटिव फॉर द मार्केट, बट वहां पे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। तो अभी ब्रॉडली देखो तो थिंग्स आर क्वाइट हंकी डोरी। बट एक चीज है कि वॉल्यूम, सो दिस इज अ कंसर्न वी आर डिस्कसिंग एज अ टीम ऑल्सो, दैट अभी यहाँ पे देखे लास्ट 8 to 10 सेशंस में कोई इतना वॉल्यूम नहीं मिला है निफ्टी को। बट द गुड पार्ट इज कि ऐसा कोई ह्यूज रैली भी नहीं मिला है। एक कंसोलिडेशन से बाहर आके अराउंड 2 to 3% का हमको एक मोमेंट मिला है। बट आइडियली, इन आइडियल सिचुएशन वी ऑलवेज वांट सच रैली टू बी इन अ वॉल्यूम, क्योंकि वो मार्केट को सस्टेनेबल बनाती है, जैसे कि हमको यहाँ मिला था। जस्ट फॉलो द एनोटेशन कि मार्केट ऊपर गया, हमको वॉल्यूम मिला, तो दैट लेवल, फिर वो लेवल के नीचे मार्केट अभी तक आया ही नहीं है। एक सस्टेनेबल जोन बन गया था निफ्टी के लिए। सो दैट इज ऑलवेज क्रूशियल। यहाँ पे जब मार्केट गिर रहा था, थोड़ा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो रहा था, तब वॉल्यूम एक्टिविटी थी। ठीक है, तो वो एक हमको थोड़ा एक मार्केट में देखना पड़ेगा कि अगर यहाँ से डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे मिल जाता है, वॉल्यूम सेलिंग में बढ़ जाता है, और जो लीडिंग स्टॉक्स है जैसे कि आईटीज के, बैंक्स के, एफएमसीजीज के, वहां पे एक अबव एवरेज वॉल्यूम पे अगर थोड़ा बहुत सेलिंग होता है, देन यू नीड टू बी केयरफुल। बाकी न्यूज, नॉइज, दैट इज नॉट द वे मार्केट वर्क्स। कितने टाइम से लोग कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ करेक्शन, यहाँ करेक्शन, 20 पे आएगा, 21 पे आएगा, 23 पे, बट दैट इज नॉट हाउ मार्केट वर्क्स। राइट, अभी हम 25 के ऊपर आज बंद आए हैं, नियर द डेज हाई। सो दैट इज द थिंग। सो ब्रॉडली द सेटअप इज वेरी गुड। अभी डेटा देखो, आज एक इम्पोर्टेंट डेटा है, यूएस का जीटीबी डेटा आज बाहर आने वाला है। सो अभी जो आईटी में मोमेंटम है, जो यूएस से एक इमर्जिंग मार्केट में ग्लोबल फ्लो, जो एफआईएस का फ्लो आता है, जो अभी काफी टाइम से थोड़ा वीकर है, वो इमर्जिंग मार्केट में तब आता है जब जो सेफ हेवन से, जैसे कि यूएस बॉन्ड वगैरह है, वहां पे यील्ड कम हो। अभी क्या हो रहा है कि वहां पे यील्ड्स काफी हायर है। तो जैसे जैसे रेट कट्स नजदीक आएगा, वैसे वैसे वहां पे यील्ड कम होगी, एंड दैट विल एंड ऑफ द डे बेनिफिट द इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स लाइक इंडिया। बट उनका रेट कट अभी दो चीज पे डिपेंडेंट है, एक तो तीन चीज, इन्फ्लेशन, जॉब डेटा और ग्रोथ। तो एक इम्पॉर्टेंट डेटा उसमें से आ जाने वाला है जीडीपी का, तो दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू ट्रैक, और वहां से यूएस भी रिएक्ट करेगा, एंड आई थिंक ऑन दैट एंड द ग्लोबल मार्केट विल आल्सो रिएक्ट ऑन द यूएस growth. So that is important to watch out. Otherwise, this overall setup of Nifty is quite good. कोई मेजर रेजिस्टेंस नहीं है ऊपर, इतना एक्सटेंडेड भी नहीं है। 50 डीएमए से देखो तो अभी हम 3% ही ऊपर है, 21 से 2 to 2.5%, so there is no major issues. Now if we look at the broader market, okay, let's see the mid cap one first. So here mid cap index also trading at a new high. ठीक है, यहाँ पे भी कोई ऐसा वीकनेस का मेजर साइन नहीं है, बट यहाँ पे भी सेम है, वॉल्यूम नहीं मिला अभी वाली रैली में। आज मिड कैप्स अंडर परफॉर्म किया, बट फिर भी दे आर होल्डिंग अबाउट द की मूविंग एवरेजेस, इवन 21 से 2 और 50 से 3.5% ऊपर है। सिमिलर सिचुएशन यू विल सी इन द स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स। ठीक है, यहाँ पे भी एक कंटिन्यू रैली मिली। सी वन थिंग, यहाँ पे वॉल्यूम का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, जो हमने निफ्टी और मिड कैप में देखा, हियर द वॉल्यूम इज गुड। कल थोड़ा ये जो लास्ट कैंडल है वो कल का है, आज वाला अभी अपडेट नहीं हुआ, सो दिस इज द येस्टरडेज कैंडल। तो यहाँ पे एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का थोड़ा साइन दिखा, हायर वॉल्यूम था बहुत ही, एंड क्लोजिंग वाज फ्लैट, और कुछ इतना इंट्राडे मूवमेंट भी नहीं था। एंड टुडे वी सॉ देयर वाज अ 0.5% करेक्शन इन द इंडेक्स। So let's see. I think till we are holding above the 21 and 50 DMA, there is no major negative about it and there is no major fear, क्योंकि जिस तरह से रैली हुई है, अगर 1.5-2% ऊपर नीचे होता है, 21 टेस्ट करता है, 50 टेस्ट करता है, then that is a normal thing. And if you are in market, you need to be ready for such 2-3-4% scenario. But broadly, all the indexes are doing good. Now let's look at sector front. So if you look at Nifty Bank, so this one is underperforming when there is a very good momentum in the market. Nifty is at fresh high. So this happens rarely that Nifty is at a new high. और अगर ये बैंक निफ्टी देखो तो वो अपने हाई से ऑलमोस्ट 2000 पॉइंट्स नीचे है। 53,300 का हाई था, अभी 51,150 पे है। तो ये दिस इज नॉट अ नॉर्मल सिनेरियो कि बैंक निफ्टी 52 वीक हाई से 4-5% नीचे हो और निफ्टी नया हाई बनाता रहे। बट हियर देर इज द सिनारियो, प्रॉब्लम ये है 21 डीएमए रिक्लेम हो गया है, बट बैंक निफ्टी इज नॉट एबल टू मूव अबाउट द 50 डीएमए। जो 51,000 टू 51,500 वाला जोन है, दैट इज बिकमिंग मेजर प्रॉब्लम फॉर द निफ्टी टू मूव अबाउट। सपोर्ट भी मिल रहा है, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है कि सपोर्ट नहीं मिल रहा है इसको। ब्रॉडली देखो तो 51,000 के अराउंड सपोर्ट मिलता है इसको। 21 डीए में भी 50,700, 51,000 के नजदीक है। सो इट इज गेटिंग अ सपोर्ट, बट द मोमेंटम, द रैली दैट यू वांट टू सी इन द बैंकिंग स्टॉक्स, यू आर नॉट गेटिंग इट। सो सी देयर इज टू थिंग्स ओवर हियर। एक तो है पीएसयू बैंक आफ्टर अ ह्यूज रैली, okay, they are taking a breather. They are going through the phase of consolidation. The PSU banks, they are struggling near the key moving averages. Private banks में मोमेंटम मिल रहा है, बट वो सस्टेन नहीं हो पा रहा है। देर इज अ फ्रेगमेंटेशन कि एक बार जो देखो तो आईसीआईसीआई बैंक एक्सेस में थोड़ा हमको मोमेंटम मिलता है, तो सामने एचडीएफसी कोटक में नहीं मिलता, या उसमें मिलता है तो इसमें तो ऑल द फोर मेजर बैंक्स विच लीड्स दिस इंडेक्स, प्राइवेट में देखे तो वहां पे सबका एक साथ में मोमेंटम नहीं मिल रहा है। दैट इज वाई दिस इंडेक्स इज नॉट गेटिंग थ्रू द 50 डीएमए और ऊपर। फंडामेंटली कोई इतना इश्यू नहीं है, एक डिपॉजिट्स का लूमिंग इश्यू है। यू माइट ऑल्सो बी नोइंग अबाउट दैट कि भाई लोगों का पैसा फिक्स डिपॉजिट्स में अभी नहीं आ रहा है, जो तो उनका कॉस्ट ऑफ बोरोइंग है बैंकिंग का ओवरऑल, वहां पे थोड़ा इंक्रीमेंट हुआ है। उसकी वजह देखो, एक तो लैंडिंग अच्छा चल रहा है, क्रेडिट ग्रोथ इज वेरी गुड इन इंडिया, द वे आवर डोमेस्टिक इकोनॉमी इज गोइंग, द इंफ्रा प्रोजेक्ट्स ये वो सब फंडिंग जोरदार चल रहा है वहां पे, देयर इज नो मेजर इश्यू। बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द no the other side of the thing, that where the bank gets money, that is from the fixed deposits that we do. Okay, so there is, that's all about the retail giving their money to banks and banks lending it in the economy. So वो जो साइकिल है उसमें ब्रेक नहीं आया है, बट अभी जो कॉस्ट है इनका बोरोइंग का वो बढ़ गया है, क्योंकि क्रेडिट ग्रोथ इज मोर देन द डिपॉजिट ग्रोथ। सो वहां पे एक थोड़ा सा इम्बैलेंस है। द गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू करेक्ट इट। कमेंट्स भी बहुत आए हैं फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री से, आरबीआई से, बट ऐसा कोई स्टेप नहीं लिया गया, कुछ टैक्सेशन में कुछ स्टेप नहीं लिया गया है, ना ही कोई दूसरा रेट बढ़ाने का स्टेप लिया गया है। तो लेट्स सी हाउ द थिंग्स गोज, बिकॉज यू नीड सम अट्रैक्शन। जब मार्केट इतना रिटर्न दे रहा है, देयर इज अ ह्यूज फ्लो इन म्यूचुअल फंड फ्रॉम द रिटेलर साइड। सो एक यहाँ पे थोड़ा पैसा आना स्लो हो गया है, तो दैट इज इम्पेक्टिंग ओवरऑल द प्राइवेट बैंक्स अ बिट। Let's see how the things goes from here for them. Now, next, if we see a few more sectors, Nifty IT. This is also a very crucial one for the index. So here there is a good heavy lifting by the TCS, the Wipro, all the major, the leading stocks as well as the mid cap stocks in the IT sector are doing really well. So if you look at the weekly chart, then the IT sector had gone through a long करेक्शन एज वेल एज द कंसोलिडेशन। एक बार यहाँ पे 2022 इनका पूरा हाफ ईयर करेक्शन में गया, उसके बाद ऑलमोस्ट 1.5-2 साल इनका कंसोलिडेशन में गया। ठीक है, इन जैन फेब दिस ईयर देर वॉज अ रैली, but then again there was a pullback and now you see that the good rally has started. So this is what always happens, guys. ऐसा नहीं होता कि एक ही बार में रैली हो जाता है। Almost you see it has formed a cup with handle type of pattern. The Nifty IT, if you can see, first there was a cup formation, right side of the base complete किया था, then there was a handle formation for the last few months, and now after rebounding from 200 DMA, it has given a breakout and moving higher. So setup in the IT index is very good. Okay, the things are also improving as far as the technology stocks are concerned. जो rate cut का cycle start होने का estimate है, ठीक है, the improvement in the margins that are expected to come, the project deliveries are expected to be well over the next year. So that things are getting priced in the IT sector, and you might see there's a very good momentum after a rally, cup with handle formation, and I think we are ready for a decent rally in the IT sector again. So this sector can be the part of your watch list. यहाँ पे जो स्टॉक अच्छा मोमेंटम में होता है, एक ब्रेकआउट देता है अर्ली स्टेज से, दैट इज वेयर यू शुड बी वॉचफुल। ओके, इफ यू लुक एट द फ्यू अदर इंडेक्सेस, निफ्टी एफएमसीजी, here also there is a pickup in the rural demand as well। थोड़ा रेंज नॉर्मल हुआ था, ठीक है, रूरल से थोड़ा इंक्रीमेंटल डिमांड मिल रहा है, अर्बन डिमांड इज ऑलरेडी गुड। सो यू कैन सी दैट there is some good momentum going on in the FMCG stocks as well. They also went through a long consolidation, and that what happens. You see in FMCG, it's a trend over here. See, the year there was last year, from July to almost December, there was a consolidation, then a rally over here in December, Jan. Again, after making a high there, there was a consolidation, वो खत्म हुआ, and then there is a rally over here. So the index is trading about the key moving averages. The green one is 21, उसके ऊपर है, रेड वन इज 50, उसके भी ऊपर। रिजल्ट भी काफी अच्छे आए हैं, कमेंट्स अच्छा आया है कि the next year can be a good one for the rural demand, the urban demand, and the entire FMCG as a whole. Input cost जो commodity cost है, logistic cost है, सब में एक कंट्रोल है, अभी कोई इतना बड़ा नहीं है। So they have a scope of margin expansion as well as the volume growth. Now if you look at auto, so it was last 2 years were very good for the auto index. Right, the demand from the PVs was very good. Okay, the electric vehicles, the new growth driver for the auto sector, but now it is going through the consolidation. It is testing its 50 DMA, and from now, I think today there was a very good momentum in the auto index. Okay, so the today's candle is not updated over here for the sectorial front, but overall, if you see, I think in today's market it was up around 0.5%, 26,000 के ऊपर बंद है index. So डिसेंट ग्रोथ अभी भी, पीवीज में ग्रोथ मोमेंटम एक जो बेसिक होना चाहिए वो बरकरार है। ठीक है, जिस तरह से इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ हो रही है, जीडीपी ग्रोथ हो रहा है, सीवीज में भी एक इंक्रीमेंटल डिमांड एक्सपेक्टेड है। एंड द न्यू ग्रोथ ड्राइवर्स लाइक इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स, द हाइब्रिड व्हीकल्स, दे आर ऑल्सो प्लेइंग इट्स पार्ट। प्लस इंडिया में जिस तरह से पब्लिक के पास पैसा बढ़ता जा रहा है, यू द इकोनॉमी ग्रोज, द मनी इन हैंड ग्रोज। ठीक है, तो स्पेंडिंग बढ़ता है इंडिया में, सो दैट ऑल इज इम्पेक्टिंग गुड फॉर द ऑटो सेक्टर demand, and it might continue from here, but need to be careful. The index went through a very good rally, so you should be very stock specific as far as the index is concerned. Let's take a couple of more and then we will start with your questions. Metal काफी वॉलेटाइल है, मेटल इंडेक्स देखे तो। ठीक है, यहाँ पे एक लास्ट ईयर एंड में रैली अटेम्प्ट किया, उसके बाद थोड़ा वॉलेटाइल रहा। फिर देन फ्रॉम मार्च आफ्टर सम इम्प्रूवमेंट इन द मेटल प्राइसेस ग्लोबली। ठीक है, चाइना में थोड़ा ग्रीन शॉट्स दिख रहा था ग्रोथ का, उसकी वजह से जून जुलाई तक एक अच्छा मोमेंटम मिला। उसके बाद फिर से चाइना का जो ग्रीन शॉट्स दिख रहा था, इट वाज नॉट दैट सस्टेनेबल। ठीक है, ओवरऑल ग्लोबल मार्केट में भी प्राइसेस थोड़े नीचे आए थे कमोडिटी के, उसकी वजह से एक फिर से शार्प फॉल आया था ओवर जून जुलाई अगस्त। अभी इट इज ट्राइंग टू मूव हायर अगेन, सम इम्प्रूवमेंट्स इन द डोमेस्टिक प्राइसेस एज वेल, स्टेबल है काफ़ी अगर देखो तो मेटल प्राइसेस। डिमांड भी अच्छा है, स्पेशली स्टील्स का डिमांड देखो तो इंडियन मार्केट में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ग्रोथ, स्टील डिमांड, सो दैट इज डिसेंट, प्राइसेस भी मिल रहा है, तो उसकी वजह से एक होल्ड कर रहा है। बट यू नीड सम मोर ग्लोबल ग्रोथ ड्राइवर, सम driven, the growth driven from the global side is what needed to get this index at a fresh all-time high. Uh, It's almost at the 50 DMA. And if we look at, I think today's action in metal, it was a bit negative. So we are yet to recover the 50 DMA. एक बार 50 DMA के ऊपर sustain हो जाता है metal index, then the stocks that are holding well, you should be, having them in your watch list and do your research for getting them through. Uh, let's take one more, Nifty Realty and Pharma. Yeah, Realty Index did really well over the last 2 years. सेम स्टोरी, ऑर्गेनाइज प्लेयर का ग्रोथ, इन्वेंटरी लेवल नीचे है, प्राइस दे रहे हैं लोग। ठीक है, तो अभी टेक्निकली देखे तो ये 50 डीएमए के नीचे है, इट इज टेकिंग अ ब्रीदर। सो हियर ऑल्सो वेट फॉर द इंडेक्स टू रिक्लेम द 50 डीएमए। ओवरऑल सिनारियो अच्छा है, आई थिंक रियल एस्टेट मार्केट देखे इंडिया में तो सिनारियो में कोई इतना मेजर दिक्कत नहीं है। ठीक है, न्यू प्रोजेक्ट लॉन्चेस, इन्वेंटरी लेवल्स लो, प्राइस डिसेंट मिल रहा है, मार्जिन्स भी एक्सपांड हो रहा है, ग्रोथ भी हो रहा है। सो let's wait for the technical pullback or technical correction to get over, and then you watch out for the quality stocks over here. Last one, Nifty Pharma. Okay, this has been one of the top performing index in the recent months. The way the growth in the pharma sector, we have seen the prices, they are getting good. US में काफी demands है, approvals काफी आने लगे हैं, so overall the scenario is good for the pharma stocks and most of them are doing well. वॉल्यूम से बढ़ रहा है इंडेक्स। ठीक है, कल भी एक अच्छा मोमेंटम था इसमें, अगर देखो तो इट मेड जस्ट फ्रेश हाई यस्टरडे, टुडे नीचे था थोड़ा, बट ब्रॉडली अगर देखो तो कोई इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, अराउंड 100 पॉइंट्स का ही नीचे था। एंड if you see the top contributors, then I think most of them are doing well. The Sun Pharma Divi's Lab has now crossed about 5,000 level. Cipla 1600 के ऊपर अच्छा कर रहा है. Zydus Life got a lot of upgrade. काफी सारे उनको permissions मिल चुकी है. So most of the stocks over here are doing really good. The Torrent, Alchem, Dr. Reddy, सब में एक अच्छा growth देखने को मिल रहा है. So this index can continue to do well. Just watch out for the stocks that are doing well over here. Now I have with me in the session my colleague Rajshekhar and Wakar. So we three will try to answer all your queries. We'll try to answer as many as possible. Please do not keep it repeating in the chat box because it is a live session. It becomes tough to scroll back and search for it. We'll try to answer in sequence. But sometime, in live session, it becomes that do char idhar udhar ho gaya. But never worry, you can always email us the query and we will try to answer them. So the floor is open for you all.
Rushit, Vakari, I'll start with queries. A lot of queries have already started coming. So we'll go with first JSW Steel, then Zee Entertainment.
Yes, that is okay.
Okay. Thank you. So, if we talk about from the technical perspective, the stock is not doing that well. And that is why you can see price strength for the stock has deteriorated. And the last breakout was also not that successful. And currently, the stock is forming a double bottom base. But there are certain parameters that are not working well. And the last couple of quarter results, considering it to be a cyclical company, was not that great as well. Prices of steel falling off. There was some China pressure as well. So that all related came into factoring into the stock price at this moment. And even when the stock this time tried to break out, it again moved back into the base, which is not a good sign. EPS strength of 20 is very poor, and even price strength is very poor at 39. So overall, for the stock to be considered again, there needs to be a lot of improvement across the fundamental and technical spectrum. Fundamental, as you can see, last two quarter results have not been good for the stock. So want the fundamentals coming back for into the stock, and also improved technicals as well. That is the stock showing signs of accumulation as well. At this moment, everything is missing and busy. Everything is missing at this moment. And if you probably look at the stocks, the chart of the stock when the stock rallied, all these ideal pointers would have been there. Currently, it is not fitting into the canceling criteria. If someone is holding the stock something from a prior breakout, can keep the 21 or the 50 DMA as their trailing stop loss levels. Next we can go is Geo Finance, then Bajaj Finance. Okay, Zee Entertainment, I missed that. This one. So, as you've seen, the stock is currently trying to form a bottom, but it is there in the news because of its merger and acquisition. Plus, if you talk about Z, it is one of the major contributors into the media sector. So, but as you can know, the stock is highly driven by the news when it comes to its M&A, and that is why you can see there has been not been some good developments in the last few quarters, and the stock has corrected from 293 to 140. That is more than a 50% fall from its recent highs. Last couple of quarters, stock is trying to give up given good results, but what's not working for the stock, if you look at this fund holding is moving out of the stock. Whenever the stock has fallen, the stock has fallen on above average volumes, which is definitely not a good sign. The stock is forming a new base, but a base which is 52% off highs probably does not qualify as a good momentum or a good canceling stock. It's definitely an avoid at this moment. uh, if someone would have bought it from an earlier base or something, should have easily moved out when the stock breached its 50 or 50 DMA, because there has been a huge downfall from there. The next we can go is Geo Finance. Thank you. So as you can see, the last breakout was very successful. whenever the stock moved up on above average volume, on the left hand side of the base, the stock has fallen, but volumes had actually dried up. But at this moment, what the two things that are missing for the stock is good technicals in terms of the stock is still consolidating around its 21 and 50 DMA with lower volumes. I mean, there is still that good up move that is left for the stock to qualify into a good breakout. And that is why you can see since the stock came off is high or off highs, the RS line is falling and falling. The only thing is that no major volumes have come up when the stock was falling, so no major signs of distribution. But on the fundamental front, if you look at it, last couple of quarter results have not been that great for the stock, and probably that is what is getting reflected in price at this moment. So going forward, at least let the technicals start improving first. The pivot is still 18% from here. The stock needs to move higher on above average volumes. That is, it needs to show signs of accumulation. Till the point in time that factor does not come into play, at this moment, the stock is definitely an avoid. If someone is holding, can wait if the stock breaches the 200 DMA, because it's holding around the 21 DMA at this moment. So keep the 200 DMA as your proper stop loss level, because the stock has never breached those levels. And going forward, if someone is holding and the stock reclaims back at 50 or 200 DMA on above average volume, then definitely the stock will probably qualify for a good set of rally if the reclaims happen on above average volume. But again, it's a game to be watched out for.
Thanks, Vakar. I'll take few queries now.
Yeah.
Let's start with Genus Power. The stock had a very good rally, not just today. Today it logged in upper circuit. There is a major news regarding new orders. The company has bagged almost 4,500 crores of new orders, and the overall order book has increased to 30,000 crores of rupees. This is a very major milestone for the company. That is the reason the overall build-up on the rally has happened. Recently, it has broken out from its stage cup with handle base pattern, and from there it has been a very good trajectory, and it has been upward trajectory. Currently, it is trading nearly 47% from the pivot. So definitely, it's a very extended stock from the ideal buy point. There is no major or clear buy point to take fresh position at this moment. But if your question is about whether to hold or whether to exit, you can continue to hold it because the price volume action is suggesting to on the strength. It is suggesting on the technical perspective. There are no major signs of weakness. That is, when the stock has fallen, the volumes have also been on the lower side. So that is not a major sign of weakness. So you can continue to hold it. But if you are looking for fresh entry, it is not advised because, as I mentioned, it is an extended stock from the pivot. Let's wait for the stock to consolidate for a bit from here. The story of the stock has been very intact. The ratings have also been very strong enough. The only concern is we need to wait for the stock to form another base pattern from here to take a fresh entry. Next is Mondal Lab. This stock has also had a very good rally recently. It is broken out from stage 3 cup with handle base pattern in the month of June, that is 2 months back. From there, moved sideways for the most part of the period, but in August, starting from August, it picked up momentum, and in the last 2 weeks, it gained momentum and has seen a sharp rally. And currently, it is trading. It has gained almost 50% from the pivot, and currently the gain is around 46% from the breakout. And again, it's an extended stock from the base pattern, so fresh entry is not advised. But if you look at the ratings remain intact because of the stock's outperformance. The technical ratings have been very good. RS rating, especially if you look at the RS line, has also been very good, has been hitting blue lines, blue dots, which is a sign of strength in terms of technicals. Buyer demand has also been very good at A plus, again indicating strong accumulation in the stock. Whenever the stock was up, it the volume was also on the higher side. That shows a good amount of accumulation happening in the stock. EPS has been very good. Recent quarter earnings have also been very good. So overall, it is looking very good in terms of fundamentals and technicals. You can continue to hold it if you have already taken position, and you can keep stop loss regarding around its short-term moving averages, such as exponential moving averages 10 EMA or 21 EMA. And 50 DMA is very far from here. So if you are waiting for 50 DMA breach, most of your profits will be eroded. You can see here 27% from here. So most of the profits will be eroded. So you can keep a stop loss around 21 or 10 EMA so that your profits are safeguarded. Next is Adani Power. Stock peaked around in the month of June, and from there it moved sideways. And currently it is underperforming and it is moving against the market. That is the reason price strength has been declining. Currently, around 70 to 80 levels, it has come down to 59. So technically, it is a beaten down stock. EPS has also taken a hit because of last 2 quarters. EPS, if you look at especially, the profits have declined in the last 2 quarters when compared to corresponding quarters last year. So those are the reasons for declining EPS strength and price strength because of underperformance of the stock's price and volume action. Those technical parameters have also taken a beating. So currently, you can say it's a laggard in the current market. So according to Canstream, we stay with leaders and we try to exit laggards as early as possible. So in this point, I think it's better if you are not taken position at this moment, and you should have exited whenever the stock has breached its stock short-term moving averages. Currently, 200 DM is still holding, but uh, if you're waiting for that 200 EMA breach, you'll be making huge loss, and recovering such losses is difficult in any market. So always cut short your losses early and invest in leaders.
Thanks, Raj. I'll take a few queries. One is NIIT that missed in between. Okay, so the user is asking about the fresh buy in NIIT. So it gave a good second stage breakout. So right side of the base was very quick. Some gap up openings, a couple of circuits, 20% wala. And it is consolidating a bit over here. थोड़ा नीचे pullback मिल रहा है after the initial moment. So it's good technically. If you already have a position, it's good to hold. If you don't, then this is a risky one. So according to your risk appetite, it all depends. Ideally, बहुत extended है 50, 21 to दोनों से. Recent financials have been good. फंड होल्डिंग्स नहीं बढ़ रहा है. बाकी टेक्निकल इंडिकेटर्स ठीक है, जैसे कि प्राइस स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ 82 इज ओके. Bad demand of A is good. Group rank among top 40 is always considered better one. So it has given a good breakout. So see, generally this stock is very volatile. Okay, it is not like a normal stock. We will always see. जैसे कि यहाँ पे भी हमने एक मूव देखा था. चला तो एक बार 3-4 दिन फटाफट चल जाता है, 40-50% का गेन मिल जाता है आपको. But you should have that stock at that point of time, because after that it goes through a long consolidation correction. अभी फिर से वही हुआ, 3 दिन में भाग गया. So now you never know like how this will go, because it has a bit of smaller market cap, less number of shares in float, fund holding decrease हो रहा है. So not an ideal stock to go after if you don't have that good research with you. But if you are holding and confident, then currently it is trading near the ideal buy zone. Stop loss इसमें बहुत deep हो जाएगा, so need to be careful over there. And there is query on Bajaj Finance. Okay, so it reclaimed its 200 DMA today, and it did couple of times like in June as well as July, but was not able to hold that level. So if we analyze, या decent वॉल्यूम पे गेन किया था बट नहीं होल्ड कर पाया था उस टाइम. So let's see if it can hold it now. Otherwise, the earnings performance have been very consistent. This stock has been the multi-bagger of in the Indian market. Last 15 साल में देखो तो this has given some exceptional return, which rarely a stock gives. Fund holding वैसे देखो जाए तो 2% कम हुआ है, but the base is very high. More than 1,000 funds are already holding the stock, and the number of shares held by fund has increased. So it's a good fundamental pick, you may say, but technically not an ideal place to be. Price trend very poor, buyer demand of C plus is poor, group rank खराब है. ठीक है, 200 डीएमए के आसपास हर बार ये फंस जाता है, रिक्लेम मार देता है 200 डीएमए, बट वहां पे फंसता है. तो लेट्स सी दिस टाइम इफ इट कैन गोज मोर हायर एंड कुछ दिन सस्टेन करता है ऑन अ डिसेंट वॉल्यूम इसके ऊपर, देन यू माइट कंसिडर. बाकी देखो इसमें एक 74-7500 के जोन में एक रेजिस्टेंस है. So let it clear that if you are willing for early entry. Otherwise, broadly, you should always, wait for the breakout, 14% to pivot. अगर breakout से पहले अच्छा momentum आ जाता है, price strength, RS line increase हो जाता है, then that will be the ideal time. If you're holding the stock, then maybe you should consider 50 DMA or the recent low of 6400, recent swing low as a stop loss. Deep hai, but yeah, if you are already holding the stock which are below 5200, then that's what you need to bear a bit with. So one more from my side, that is Sterling 2. Excellent rally over here. You can see it's a very small cap stock. 1900 का market cap है, 1900 crore का. वो भी आई थिंक अभी इंक्रीज हुआ लास्ट फ्यू डेज में. फंड होल्डिंग बहुत कम है, सो नॉट क्वालिफाई एज अ कैंसलिंग स्टॉक, बट रीसेंट रिजल्ट्स हैव बीन गुड. रिसेंटली लास्ट 2 क्वार्टर्स द ईपीएस ग्रोथ, सेल्स ग्रोथ दोनों देखने को मिला है. ठीक है, ब्रेकआउट के बाद अच्छा मोमेंटम आया. इफ यू आर होल्डिंग द स्टॉक यू कैन कंटिन्यू टू होल्ड. इफ यू आर नॉट होल्डिंग द स्टॉक देन इट्स क्वाइट एक्सटेंडेड टू बाय द स्टॉक एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. Okay, the ratings are decent. The EPS, price strength, buyer demand, everything is like in range. It is good to go with it, but the only thing is it's a bit extended. So either you need to wait for a pullback or fresh base formation over here.
So, Rishit, Vakaria, I'll take some queries. Is Shree Simmons done? Thank you. So as you can see, all the ratings in terms of the canceling parameters have deteriorated, which is not a good sign. And I mean, the stock did try to break out, but it was an unsuccessful breakout. And the point in time when the stock was trading around the 21 and 50 DMA, just look at the downfall. There was a huge downfall, huge correction from 28K to 24K. And look at the volumes. I mean, not the most ideal thing, but if someone was holding the stock, should have exited during this phase as well. Currently not a ideal time to hold the stock, maybe because of the last quarter results, which was not at par what the company used to deliver in the past. So that is the knee-jerk reaction we've seen. And going forward, if probably the stock reclaims its all key moving averages, plus the price strength and the buyer demand also needs to improve. Fund holding base is very high, but there is some fallback happening on the fund holding space as well. So currently, I mean, even if try to look at from all the parameters, it's a clear cut avoid at this moment. The next, you can give me precision wires. Yeah, thank you. So the stock is doing very well. I can see the breakout. It has broken out on very good volumes, and it is slightly above the ideal buy zone at this moment. What is probably working well for the stock is just look at the fundamental results, financial results for the stock in the last 4 quarters. I mean, uh, double digit growth in sales, double digit growth in EPS, and with that, even the acceleration in earnings as well, which is a very, very good sign. And that is why you can see ratings are also very good for the stock. Fund holding on a small base, but look at the quantum of increase. 40% increase is a very, very good sign, even for a small side base. So it is improving very well. And even on the breakout point, the RS line hit the blue dot, which is a new 52-week high, which is a good sign. It is a base on base formation, and initially tried to form a cup with handle base, then it again consolidated. Maybe the stage count got reset because the low was different. Yeah, correct. So still a base count, as you can see, 1A and 1B, but the accumulation on the right hand side of the base has been very, very good, and even on the left hand side of the base, when the stock was falling, the stock did not fall on very high volume. So as you can see, ideally looking very good. Someone who probably bought in the ideal buy zone can continue to hold. And I mean, yes, 21 DMA at this moment is very deep. Uh, so can keep a short-term moving average like a 10 EMA. Because 21 DMA at this moment is looking very deep at this juncture. So I'll take one YouTube query, RIR Power. Thank you. So market cap is decent, but as you can see, in the last few days, looks like some very irrelevant, I mean, some very volatile activity is happening. Some volumes actually getting dried up completely. Plus, I feel the stock is in the surveillance list as well. I mean, there's some kind of nope, I guess it got removed because as you can see, it is the highs were getting capped
Yeah,
at
it is
5%.
there. It is there 5% cap.
5% cap is there. Yeah, that's why the 5% cap is still there. But overall, the EPS, if it canceling is based on both technicals and fundamentals. But at this moment, fundamentals are not moving well with the stock. Definitely, initially the stock rallied. I mean, it. I mean, once was a very high market cap stock, then it went down and tried move higher. There is some reforms happening within the company in terms of Reliance Power. But again, because the financials are still volatile or the fundamentals are still volatile, the turnaround for the stock, I mean, to be into the canceling portfolio will take a little longer. At this moment, still the stock is not fitting with us and trading around the 50 DMS. Someone who's probably have some position into the stock depending upon your risk appetite. Uh, the closest the support is the 50 DMA at this moment. If you have a slightly higher risk appetite, can use the 200 DMA as well.
Thanks, Vagal. I'll take
Yeah,
two queries now.
yeah.
I'll start with the L&T Technology Services, MTTS. It has been asked a couple of times. Stock has broken out from its cup base pattern today itself, and it's a very good breakout. If you look at today's action, the price and volume action has been very strong. The base pattern has been very on lengthwise, it is very big. I can say it's more than 3 to 4 months of period, and there have been wide spread patterns in between during the base pattern. So that is not a major sign of cautious sign of weakness, but ideal base should be formed within a period of 5 to 7 weeks, and the depth should not be as high as in this case. If you look at the other parameters, starting with fundamentals, EPS has stayed at 60. The growth has not been significantly higher. At canceling, we look at or we target a growing companies, and the growth rate should be in terms of around 20 to 30% consistently for at least 3 to 4 quarters, which is lacking in terms of LTTS. Technicals, RS line has improving currently because of recent action, but still the RS strength on absolute level is at poor category at 47 below 50. Not a positive sign. Number of funds, which is another key parameter from the O'Neill's perspective, has also seen a sharp decline in the number of funds in the recent quarter. Ideally, we are looking at companies which are increasing or having institutional sponsorship, which is rising quarter on quarter basis. But in the case of L&T Technology Services, that is lacking, which is a negative side as well. So keeping all these pointers in mind, and if you looking at the current market structure as well, you see ample of stocks which are looking very strong in terms of parameters, ratings, and in terms of price volume action as well. So better to stick with those stocks which are ticking all the boxes rather than looking out for stocks which are ticking only a few boxes and not ticking most of the boxes. So our advice is not to take a fresh entry at this particular point, even though the breakout is very convincingly very strong, but keeping other parameters or ratings into consideration, we would not advise to take a fresh entry. And even though if you are taking a fresh entry, it is advised to follow strict stop loss rules as well as part of portfolio management, because it's very important that you don't keep your capital at risk, uh, and it's very important to cut short your losses as well. Next is PNB Housing, a YouTube query. Again, recently broken out stock from stage 4 complete handle based pattern. Today's action has been very good in this particular stock as well. But again, it's a couple of pointers which are not favoring us to add our late stage base. One is stage 4 base, which is a late stage, and our strength is also lower. EPS strength has also not been very good. We were looking at the 70 to 80 number, which is not there in the case of PNB Housing. And if you look at the growth rates in terms of sales and EPS, have also not been convincingly higher. Again, 10 to single digit growth in terms of sales is not a sign of a growing company. We are looking at 20 to 30% of growth in terms of sales and profits, and that has to be there for at least 3 to 4 quarters as well as mentioned previously. So these pointers are not favoring us to add it. Otherwise, it's a very good stock. Fundamentally, the housing finance and the market cap, if you look at, has been good as well. It deals in the low risk business area, which is housing finance, is normally called as low risk loans because house is mortgaged. But the company needs to evolve from the traditional process and needs to focus on digital expertise so that they increase their market share in the country. So when such thing happens, definitely a very good stock to consider. But until now, at this moment, it's not in a good zone to take a fresh entry. Next is Gravita. It has broken out from stage 6 base, consolidation base, which is very rare. You'll see stage 3 or 4 commonly, but stage 6 is a very rare base pattern. And from there as well, it has broken out very strong and convincing reward has also been there at the time of breakout. If you are taking position, you'll be sitting at a gain of more than 80%. There will be a few exceptions when we talk about late stage bases and late stage bases being successful. The prob always we look, it's better to stick with the probability because overall it's a game of probability, and late stage bases have lower probability of success ratio, whereas uh, smaller stage bases such as stage 1 and stage 2 tend to have higher success rate when it breaks out. That is the reason we try to stick to stage 1, 2, 3 base breakouts. But in this case, if you look at the ratings, most all the ratings are looking good from starting with EPS, RS, and buyer demand. Number of funds have also seen very good improvement recent quarter, almost 23% of increase in number of funds. Technically, fundamentally, it is looking very good. There is still strength in the stock. Recently, the stock has moved sideways and seen small dip, but that has happened on lower volume, so not a major sign of concern. We can keep a stop loss around 21 DMA, which is a green line here, and we can ride on to profits until that level is breached. Fresh entry is not advised at this moment. Next is Torrent Power. It broke out from stage 3 consolidation base, but after breakout, it moved sideways, and the action was very numb for a period of 2 months almost. From June to July, there was no major action. It moved sideways. The volume have also come down sharply. Recently, there is some pickup in the volumes and in the price action as well, but still it is lacking the momentum. Ideally, we would like to see a stock breaking out from the base pattern and pick up its momentum and rally from there in a quick succession, which is lacking at this moment. So the base formation which has formed will not be a good sign or good area to take a fresh entry because it has formed 2 to 3 months back almost. So the consolidation or the base pattern overall itself will nullify because of such long period. And if you're taken position and if you're looking for exit, I think it is moving sideways. That is one of the major concern. So your capital will be mostly idle for a period of time. But 50 DMA is very close. You can keep that level as a stop loss. And if that level is breached, definitely it's better to exit and look out for stocks which are looking good. And most of the stocks in the current market are looking good. So you'll find ample of opportunities to invest your capital.
I'll take a few queries from here. One is on GMR Airport. I think some technical issue. Chart is not getting reloaded. Raj, Vakar, can you check if
Yes, yes, Rashid. Even in my laptop, they are not loading. Maybe tech issue at the back end.
yes.
Same issue at my end as well.
Hmm.
So is there a possibility we can just do some oral queries because already we are
Oh yeah, this is like working now. It's fine. It's just
okay.
a matter of minutes. So overall, if you see, it's a good setup till the time you see the earnings. The EPS strength of one is very, very poor. Overall, stage 3 consolidation base से breakout हुआ था, but it was not able to move higher. Breakout sustainable नहीं था क्योंकि 103 के पास रेजिस्टेंस बनाया, 2 बार ट्राई किया, एक बार रीब्रेकआउट भी हुआ, रीब्रेकआउट भी ऑलमोस्ट फेल हो गया बिकॉज इट हैज ब्रीच इट्स की मूविंग एवरेजेस, 50 डीएमए ब्रीच हो गया. बट द गुड पार्ट इज देयर, वहां से बहुत नीचे भी नहीं जा रहा है, 50 डीएमए के 1-2% ऊपर नीचे एक अच्छा सपोर्ट मिल रहा है. सो दिस इज प्योर टेक्निकली इफ यू आर वांट टू प्ले द स्टॉक दैट इज फाइन, बट फंडामेंटली इतना अर्निंग्स में या रेवेन्यू में इतना शो नहीं हो रहा है. ऑन स्टैंडअलोन और कंसोलिडेटेड बेसिस इट्स नेगेटिव ईपीएस ग्रोथ. ओवरऑल फंड होल्डिंग्स काफी इंक्रीज हुआ है, बट सी ब्रॉडली द एयरपोर्ट इंफ्रा इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन इंडिया. वहाँ पे ग्रोथ अच्छा है, इंक्रीमेंटल ग्रोथ है, सो दैट tailwind is not a concern, but I think the fundamentals needs to improve over here. So there is a major problem. But technically, अगर trade कर रहे हो आप 50 DMA को देख के breakout को देख के, then you are altogether in a different game, and that is up to you on that. The second one I will take is CESC. Superb rally over here we saw recently after breakout from stage 2 cup pattern which became 2A. It tried to form a handle, but वो handle थोड़ा लंबा बन गया and it formed a stage 2B consolidation base. वहां से breakout होके it hit power to pivot. That means more than 20% in less than 3 weeks is green flag. Power to pivot. वहां से फिर से 50 DMA पुल बैक करके एक अच्छा रैली स्टार्ट हुआ है इसमें. ओवरऑल द फंडामेंटल्स हैव इम्प्रूव्ड. फंड होल्डिंग्स इंप्रूव हो गया है, टेक्निकल रेटिंग्स काफी इंप्रूव हो गया है. ईपीएस 50 का है, बट वो जैसे जैसे अर्निंग्स इंप्रूव होगा वहां पे एक इम्प्रूवमेंट देखने को मिलेगा. बट अभी इट इज ट्रेडिंग इन अ गुड जोन. फ्रेश एंट्री अकॉर्डिंग टू ओनिल नॉट सजेस्टेड. 26% ऊपर है पिवट से. बट यू कैन ऑलवेज वेट फॉर 50 डीएमए. ऐसे स्टॉक में देखने को मिलेगा कि अराउंड 50 डीएमए से ये अच्छा रिबाउंड देता है. सो वंस दैट हैपेंस, अगर ये फिर से 50 डीएमए के नजदीक आता है एंड रिबाउंड, देन दैट इज आइडियल जोन. अदरवाइज एक और बेस बनाता है यहाँ पे और वहां से एक ब्रेकआउट मिलता है, दैट इज व्हेन यू कैन कंसिडर इट. बाकी पावर डिमांड जिस तरह से है इंडिया में, टेलविंड है इसके. सेक्टरियल टेलविंड इज विथ CESC. There's a question on AMCs. Aditya Birla, Sun Life AMC, maybe that was the question. So see, the way the mutual fund industry is growing, the retail participation is growing in India, तो ये जो भी एक मार्केट ग्रोथ से रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स है, जैसे कि म्यूचुअल फंड रिलेटेड, एसेट मैनेजमेंट कंपनीज देखो, एक्सचेंजेस देखो, BSE का स्टॉक देख लीजिए, या फिर CDSL हो, या वो ऑल द स्टॉक्स which are related to the growth in the market, the more participation in the market, that is having a good positive momentum. एक tailwind है उनके पास. Here it broke out from a stage 1 cup base in April, फिर consolidate करके एक अच्छा momentum यहाँ पे built हुआ. Currently it is extended from the base, but 21 के करीब आ रहा है. लो वॉल्यूम पे फॉल है. बायर डिमांड अच्छा है, प्राइस रेंज अच्छा है, ईपीएस इज गुड, रीसेंट क्वार्टर रिजल्ट्स गुड, ROE 25 इज डिसेंट, फंड होल्डिंग ऑल्सो इंक्रीजिंग. सो आई थिंक या तो यू वेट फॉर अ फ्रेश बेस फॉर्मेशन, और दूसरा चीज ये है कि ये अगर 2150 के बीच में फंसता है और वहां से फिर से रिबाउंड होता है, दैट इज द आइडियल टाइम टू अल्टरनेट एंट्री पॉइंट यू कैन से. सो यू कैन वॉच आउट फॉर दैट लेवल, बट एज ऑफ नाउ यू कैन वेट. Okay, and then there is one UTI is also asked. So good growth in UTI as well. Just a disclaimer that this is the part of our model portfolio. We have added this stock in our model portfolio. A lot of good growth drivers, the way they are expanding their footprints, new launches in the, okay, of the mutual fund. Recent EPS growth is good, fund holding increasing in the fund. अभी स्टेज 1 से C से ब्रेकआउट हुआ है, and you can see there is a good accumulation. Buyer demand is good. RS 61 है, but it is moving higher, or blue dot means RS at a 52-week high, so that is decent to go for. Here also fresh entry not suggested now because it is extended from the pivot. Wait for a fresh base or pull back to 50 DM. Maybe one, two query I will take and then we close this session. So there are some CDSL, CESC का YouTube queries है, but I think I already covered it. CDSL, let's go for a chart to check. Here, after a good momentum, 3-4 दिन से पुल बैक हो रहा है. फ्रेश एंट्री सजेस्टेड नहीं है. बाकी ऑल द फंडामेंटल रेटिंग, टेक्निकल रेटिंग, एवरीथिंग फर्स्ट क्लास है. कुछ वांदा नहीं है इसमें. ROE 29 is good, but just it is extended, so wait for the pullback or fresh base. That's same answer for the CDSL as well. Let's take one or two. So there's a question, the recording of this yeah, it is already live on YouTube and it will remain on YouTube. Zantec and Alcon. So these are the last two queries I will take, and then we close the session. So good momentum in Zantec as well after the breakout from a stage 3 cup base. It does not look back. 21 DMA acting as a good support. अभी 21 DMA पे आ गया है. Last 3 दिन selling में volume भी अच्छा है. So if it breaches 21 DMA on a higher volume, if you are holding, according to O'Neill, you can consider profit booking. Okay, or if you are in loss, you can cut your losses. बाकी उसके नीचे जो 50 DMA का support है, that is a bit deeper. यहाँ से almost 15% है. Fundamental, it's a good stock. Return on equity is good. The fund holding is good. The ratings are also fine. So RSP blue dot वाली 93 पे है. So बाकी कोई वांदा नहीं है. Just like after a 50% rally in just 3 months, there are chances of pullback. If that happens, 21 नीचे जाता है, then you can consider profit booking. Otherwise, it's a good stock to hold, looking at the tailwind in the sector and the fundamentals as well as the technicals. Last one of the day, Alcon Engineering. And then we close the session. Okay, after a huge rally over the last 1 year, if you can see the weekly chart, if I show you, the rally has been very good. Okay, so now it is going through some phase of consolidation. 10 रुपया था ये कोविड के टाइम, वहां से ये पूरा 600 के ऊपर है अभी. So if you look at the earnings, it is really good. Earning improvement काफी अच्छा था. फंड होल्डिंग इज ऑल्सो गुड. ईपीएस रेटिंग फाइन, बट अभी टेक्निकली थोड़ा वीकनेस आ गया है. स्टेज 2 से ब्रेकआउट होने के बाद कंसोलिडेट हो रहा है, बट द गुड पार्ट इज कंसोलिडेशन इज ऑन लोअर वॉल्यूम. सो यू कैन ऑलवेज कीप दिस ऑन वॉच लिस्ट. जब भी यहाँ पे एक अच्छे वॉल्यूम से ब्रेकआउट मिलता है, मैंने री ब्रेकआउट reclaims the 50 DMA, if your research suggests to buy, you can consider. Baki, overall, the growth story over here is also excellent. There's no two ways about that. So that's it for today's session. Thank you for joining it. You can join us tomorrow on pre-bell at 8:45 a.m. in the morning. Follow our YouTube channel. We come up with a lot of interesting videos that or recently we have started a new series of videos जहाँ पे हमने काफ़ी सारे videos upload किए हैं discussing the stock. As a team, me, Rajshekhar Vakar, and our head of research, Mayuresh Joshi, joins it. We discuss about a stock as well as some of the sectors, and we try to give good insight, good knowledge. So just check it out on YouTube if it is useful. We have come up with Capacity Infra, Dixon Technology. ठीक है, सारे जो क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स है जो अच्छे बेस बना रहे हैं उस पे हमारा वीडियोस आ रहा है. सो यू कैन ऑलवेज चेक दैट आउट एंड कीप फॉलोइंग अस. थैंक यू वेरी मच.